Prison's lawlessness is a stark representation of a world stripped of order and morality. The guards withdraw from the prison's daily operations, stepping in only during emergencies, creates a microcosm where only the fittest survive. This setting amplifies the sense of desperation among the inmates as they navigate a world where violence and power are the primary currencies. This week on the Cinema Gold Show, we dive into Prison Break Season 3 and give you our thoughts on this season as we take a look back on the biggest shows for Fox. Prison Break is a television series that captivated audiences with its intricate plots, high-stakes drama, and unforgettable characters. While its first two seasons received a widespread acclaim, the third season faced a unique set of challenges and brought with it a shift in tone and setting that left fans divided. In this episode, we will dive into the complexities of Season 3, examining its strengths, weaknesses, and overall impact on the series. Season 3 of Prison Break ushers in a dramatic shift in setting that fundamentally alters the dynamics of the show. Moving away from the structured environment of Fox River Penitentiary, where rules and order, however corrupt, existed, the series plunges viewers in the anarchic and chaotic world of Sona Federal Penitentiary. Sona, a Panamanian prison, is notorious for its brutality and lawlessness, where the inmates run the facility and guards only intervene during emergencies. Sona's atmosphere is immediately oppressive and hostile, a stark contrast to the previous prisons depicted in the series. The environment is grim, filthy, and rife with violence, painting a picture of a place where survival is a daily struggle. This setting not only ramps up the tension, but also forces the characters to confront new challenges and threats, both physical and psychological. Michael Scofield, played by Wentworth Miller, is once again thrust into the role of orchestrating an escape. However, the stakes are significantly higher this time. Unlike Fox River, where he had the luxury of time and a meticulously crafted plan, Sona presents an immediate and dire threat. Michael must navigate the treacherous environment of Sona while also dealing with the pressure from the company, a shadowy organization with far-reaching influence. The company's demand is clear. Michael must break out James Whistler, an inmate with crucial information, or face the deaths of his loved ones, including his nephew LJ and his beloved Sarah Tancredi. This ultimatum adds a personal and urgent dimension to Michael's mission. The safety of his family hinges on his success, making the escape plan not just a matter of freedom, but of life and death. James Whistler is introduced as a seemingly ordinary inmate, but it quickly becomes apparent that there is more to his story. Whistler is a key player in a larger conspiracy involving the company, and his knowledge makes him a valuable asset. His true motives and background are shrouded in mystery, creating a sense of intrigue and uncertainty. Michael's interactions with Whistler are tense and cautious, reflecting the high stakes of their predicament. Whistler's ambiguous nature adds a layer of complexity to the escape plan. Is he a friend or foe? Can he be trusted? These questions linger throughout the season, heightening the suspense. The main driving force behind the plot is the hostage crisis. The kidnapping of LJ and Sarah by the company served as a driving force behind the plot of Season 3. Lincoln Burrows, Michael's brother, is on the outside, desperately working to secure their release. His mission runs parallel to Michael's efforts inside Sona, and the brothers communicate covertly to coordinate their plans. The hostage situation introduces a ticking clock element to the narrative. Michael and Lincoln are under constant pressure to meet the company's demands, knowing that any misstep could result in the deaths of their loved ones. This relentless urgency propels the story forward and keeps the audience on edge. Sona's internal dynamics are dominated by various factions and powerful inmates, each with their own agendas. Michael must navigate these treacherous waters, forming alliances and making enemies along the way. Key figures in Sona include Lashero, the self-proclaimed ruler of Sona. He exerts control over the inmates through fear and violence. His authority is constantly challenged, and his relationship with Michael is one of mutual suspicion and reluctant cooperation. Teabag, Theodore Teabag Bagwell, continues to be a wild card. His manipulative and cunning nature makes him a dangerous presence in Sona. Teabag's motivations are purely self-serving, and he often acts as both an obstacle and a reluctant ally to Michael. And of course, we have Mahone. Former FBI agent Alexander Mahone is now an inmate in Sona, struggling with addiction and the psychological trauma of his past actions. Mahone's complex relationship with Michael oscillates between adversarial and cooperative, adding depth to their interactions. Michael's brilliance as a strategist and engineer is once again on full display in Season 3. The escape plan he devises is intricate and multifaceted, requiring careful coordination and precise timing. Unlike his previous plans, Michael must contend with the volatile and unpredictable environment of Sona, where any misstep could lead to deadly consequences. Key elements of the escape plan include reconnaissance and mapping. Michael meticulously maps out Sona, identifying potential escape routes and weak points. His attention to detail and ability to think several steps ahead are crucial to the plan's success. Michael forms strategic alliances with other inmates, leveraging their skills and knowledge to aid in the escape. He also creates diversions and distractions to mislead the guards and other inmates, assuring that their focus is diverted from the real plan. The unpredictable nature of Sona forces Michael to adapt his plan on the fly. His ability to improvise and think on his feet is tested repeatedly, showcasing his resourcefulness and quick thinking. The build-up to the actual escape is marked by numerous obstacles and setbacks. Each episode ratchets up the tension as Michael and his allies inch closer to their goal while facing increasing dangers. The final escape attempt is a high-stakes, adrenaline-pumping sequence that epitomizes the show's ability to blend action with psychological drama. During the escape, alliances are tested and true motivations are revealed. The breakout is not just a physical challenge, but a psychological one, as the characters must confront their fears and make difficult choices. The resolution of the escape plan ties together the various narrative threads, culminating in a satisfying yet open-ended conclusion that sets the stage for future developments. And now we're going to take a look at some of the themes and tones, such as darkness and desperation. Season 3 is a shift to darkness, the brutality of Sona. Season 3 takes a notable shift towards a darker and more intense atmosphere, largely due to its new setting, Sona Federal Penitentiary. Unlike the structured environment of Fox River or the cat and mouse chase of Season 2, Sona is a place where chaos reigns. The environment significantly influences the tone of the season, emphasizing themes of survival, power struggles, and the human capacity for both brutality and resilience. The prison's lawlessness is a stark representation of a world stripped of order and morality. The guards withdraw from the prison's daily operations, stepping in only during emergencies, creates a microcosm where only the fittest survive. This setting amplifies the sense of desperation among the inmates as they navigate a world where violence and power are the primary currencies. The depiction of Sona is raw and unflinching, capturing the harsh realities of life inside such a brutal institution. Another theme, survival, the primordial instinct. Survival is a predominant theme in Season 3, influencing every character's actions and decisions. The inmates of Sona are constantly faced with life and death situations, where each decision can mean the difference between living another day or succumbing to the violence that permeates the prison. This theme is explored through various lenses. Starting off with Michael Schofield. For Michael, survival is not just about his own life, but about protecting those he cares about. His plans and actions are driven by a desperate need to escape and save LJ and Sarah. The moral dilemma he faces, such as making alliances with dangerous individuals and deciding who to trust, underscore the complexity of surviving in such a hostile environment. Outside of Sona, with Lincoln Burrows, Lincoln's struggle for his survival revolves around rescuing his son and Sarah. His encounters with the company and the constant threats they pose highlight the external dangers that parallel the internal chaos of Sona. Lincoln's survival instincts are fueled by his protective nature and his determination to reunite his family. And then, when you take a look at with Whistler, Mahone, and Lachero, each of these characters embodies different aspects of survival. Whistler's mysterious background in strategic thinking, Mahone's battle with addiction in his past, and Leschero's authoritative control over Sona's inmates all contribute to the multifaceted exploration of what it takes to survive in an unforgiving environment. And then, next up, for another theme of Season 3, we have power and control, the struggle for dominance. Power dynamics play a crucial role in the narrative of Season 3. Sona's hierarchy is defined by brute strength and cunning, with Leshero at the top as the self-proclaimed ruler. The struggle for dominance is evident in every interaction, whether it's through physical confrontations or psychological manipulation. Season 3 delves into the theme of moral ambiguity, challenging characters to make choices that blur the lines between right and wrong. The harsh realities of Sona forces characters to confront their values and principles, often leading to morally complex decisions. Starting off, Michael's ethics. Michael's ethical framework is put to the test repeatedly. His need to protect his loved ones and escape Sona often requires him to engage in actions that conflict with his moral code. This internal struggle is a central theme, highlighting the difficult balance between maintaining one's integrity and doing whatever it takes to survive. And then you take a look at Mahone's redemption arc. Mahone's character is a study in moral ambiguity. His past actions as an FBI agent, driven by addiction and pressure, haunts him throughout his time in Sona. His quest for redemption and his struggle with his inner demons provide an exploration of guilt, forgiveness, and the possibility of change. And then we have Leschero's rule. His leadership is marked by acts of brutality and moments of unexpected compassion. His character embodies the complexity of leadership in a lawless world, where maintaining order often requires morally questionable actions. And then we take a look at desperation and sacrifice, the cost of freedom. Desperation is a pervasive theme in Season 3, driving characters to extreme lengths in their pursuit of freedom. The dire circumstances within Sona and the external threats posed by the company create a constant atmosphere of urgency and fear. You take a look at Sarah and LJ's plight. The kidnapping of Sarah and LJ adds a personal and emotional dimension to the theme of desperation. Their plight forces Michael and Lincoln into a race against time, where every decision is fraught with the potential for catastrophic consequences. The stakes are not just about escaping prison, but about saving lives, adding a profound layer of desperation to the narrative. And then when you take a look at Whistler's dilemma, Whistler's character is caught in a web of intrigue and danger. His desperation to escape Sona and fulfill the company's demands while protecting his secrets creates a tension that underscores the high cost of freedom. His interactions with Michael and other inmates reveals the length to which he is willing to go to survive and protect those he cares about. And then we take a look at Michael and Lincoln's sacrifices. The brothers' journey is marked by a series of sacrifices, both personal and moral. Their willingness to endure pain, danger, and ethical compromises for the sake of their loved ones highlights the profound theme of sacrifice. Their bond, forged through shared adversity and mutual sacrifice, remains a central pillar of the series. And then we take a look at the theme of isolation, which is acutely felt in Season 3 as characters grapple with physical and emotional separation. Sona, with its brutal and isolating environment, serves as a powerful metaphor for their characters' internal struggles. Michael's isolation. Despite his leadership and alliances, Michael often feels isolated in his mission. His responsibility to devise the escape plan and to protect his loved ones create a sense of loneliness and burden that weighs heavily on him. Then you have Mahone's alienation. Mahone's descent into addiction and his haunting past isolate him from others, both physically and emotionally. His struggle to connect with others and find a sense of purpose amidst his guilt and regret is a poignant exploration of alienation. And then we take a look at Sarah's isolation as a hostage parallels the emotional isolation experienced by other characters. Her captivity and the uncertainty surrounding her fate drive much of the emotional tension for Michael and Lincoln, underscoring the theme of separation and the longing for reunion. This episode of the Cinema Gold Show is sponsored by Good Ranchers. At the break of dawn, the dedication of good ranchers begins. Here, on American soil, quality is nurtured with care. From farm to table, their beef, chicken, and seafood are 100% American raised, ensuring the highest quality and taste. Delivered straight to your door so families can savor farm fresh flavor without the hassle. Sign up today and get 10% off your next box. Use the link in the description. And now let's get back to today's episode. The third season, Prison Break, was notably affected by the 2007-2008 Writers Guild of America strike, which led to a shortened season of 13 episodes instead of the usual 22. This reduction in episodes significantly influenced the pacing and structure of the season, necessitating a more condensed and accelerated narrative. The strike meant that the writers had to streamline the plot, focusing on the most critical storylines and cutting out potential subplots that might have been explored in a longer season. This compression led to a fast-paced narrative that moved quickly from one high-stakes scenario to another, maintaining a constant sense of urgency and tension. We're going to take a look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of that fast-paced narrative. So, for an advantage, you got to look at the consistent tension. The shortened season ensured that there was no filler content. Each episode was packed with significant developments, maintaining a high level of suspense and keeping viewers engaged from episode to episode. The urgency of Michael's escape plan and the constant threats from within Sona and the company outside ensured that the narrative never lost momentum. And then you gotta look at focused storytelling. The condensed format allowed the writers to hone in on the core plot lines, particularly the escape from Sona and the external efforts to rescue LJ and Sarah. This focus resulted in a tight, cohesive story that kept viewers invested in the primary objectives of Season 3. However, there were some disadvantages, such as limited character development. The fast pace left less room for in-depth character development and exploration of personal backstories. Characters like Whistler, Sophia, and Lashero, who were introduced this season, did not receive as much screen time to fully flesh out their backgrounds and motivations, leading to a somewhat superficial understanding of their roles. And some of the plot points were rushed. Some story arcs felt rushed with rapid resolutions that might have benefited from a more gradual build-up. Key plot twists and character decisions sometimes lacked the depth and nuance that a longer season could have provided, leading to moments that felt abrupt or underexplored. Season 3's episodes were designed to end on high-stakes cliffhangers, a hallmark of Prison Break that kept viewers eagerly anticipating the next episode. Each episode pushed the narrative forward significantly, often leaving characters in precarious situations that heightened the overall tension of the season. The cliffhanger approach was particularly effective in a compressed season, as it ensured that the stakes remained high throughout. This structure kept the audience on edge and maintained a sense of urgency and danger, crucial for a storyline centered around a high-stakes prison escape. The primary story arcs of Season 3 were tightly interwoven and advanced at a rapid pace. Some of these key arcs included Michael's escape plan, Lincoln's rescue mission, Whistler's history, and the internal power struggles within Sona. Despite the fast pace, the writers managed to balance action with key character moments. While some character arcs were abbreviated, the essential emotional beats were maintained to ensure that the audience remained connected to the characters' journeys. Michael's moral dilemmas and the emotional toll of his mission were highlighted through brief but impactful scenes. His moments of vulnerability, such as dealing with the pressure of saving his loved ones and the ethical compromises he had to make, were woven into the action. Then you have Mahomes' redemption. Dealing with his addiction and quest for redemption, he was given sufficient screen time to provide a deeper understanding of his character. His interactions with Michael and other inmates added layers to his portrayal despite the overall fast pace. And of course, T-Bag's schemes. T-Bag's manipulative and cunning nature was showcased through quick, decisive actions that reinforced his role as a wild card within the prison. His character's unpredictability was a constant source of tension, even in a condensed narrative. The final episodes of Season 3 were particularly intense, as the various story arcs converged on the central goal of the escape from Sona. The pacing accelerated even further, with each episode leading directly into the next, creating a continuous flow of high-stakes action. The penultimate episode ramped up the tension, with the escape plan in its final stages and numerous obstacles still to overcome. The compressed format meant that every minute was crucial, leaving little room for error and heightening the sense of urgency. The season finale delivered a climatic and satisfying conclusion to the escape plot, while also setting up future storylines. The rapid pace of the finale ensured that all key elements were addressed, providing a thrilling and action-packed conclusion. So now we're going to take a look at some of the strengths of Season 3, starting off with the suspense and intrigue. One of the hallmarks of Prison Break is its ability to weave intricate plots filled with clever twists and turns. Season 3 is no exception, as it crafts a narrative that keeps viewers constantly guessing and on the edge of their seats, such as the complexity of the escape plan. Michael Scofield's escape plans have always been a central source of intrigue in the series. In Season 3, the challenge of breaking out of the lawless Sona prison adds layers of complexity to his strategies. Michael's ingenuity is showcased through a series of meticulously crafted schemes that involve not just physical escapes, but also psychological manipulation and strategic alliances. The audience is drawn into the intricacies of his plan, eager to see how he will overcome. And then you have Whistler's mysterious background. The character of James Whistler is introduced with an aura of mystery that adds a significant layer of suspense to the season. Initially, little is known about Whistler, and his true motives and connections remain unclear. This uncertainty about his character creates an ongoing sense of intrigue, as viewers are left to piece together clues about his identity and intentions. The gradual revelation of Whistler's backstory and his ties to the company keeps the audience engaged and invested in his fate. And then, of course, you have the company. The shadowy organization known as the company plays a pivotal role in driving the suspense of this season. Their far-reaching influence and ruthless tactics create a constant threat that looms over Michael and his allies. The company's demands, particularly the ultimatum to break Whistler out of Sona in exchange for the safety of LJ and Sarah, add high stakes to the narrative. The audience is kept in suspense about the company's true goals and the lengths they will go to achieve it. Season 3's setting in Sona creates a tense atmosphere that permeates the entire season. The constant danger within the prison walls, combined with the external threats from the company, ensures that the suspense is unrelenting. So, of course, you have the unpredictable environment of Sona. The lawless nature of that prison makes it a volatile and unpredictable environment. And of course, you have the alliances and betrayals. The alliances formed within Sona are fragile and driven by necessity rather than trust. Michael is forced to navigate a web of shifting loyalties and potential betrayals, adding to the suspense. You have characters like Teabag, Lashero, and Mahone, each with their own agendas, and their interactions with Michael are fraught with uncertainty. And of course, each episode delivers high-stakes scenarios that escalate the stakes. The strength of Season 3's suspense and intrigue is also rooted in the depth of its characters and the psychological drama that unfolds. You got Michael's moral dilemmas. Michael's character is central to the season's suspense. His moral dilemmas and ethical compromises he must make add layers of complexity to his characters. The audience is invested in his struggle to maintain his integrity while navigating the dangerous environment of Sona. His internal conflicts and the pressure of protecting his loved ones create an emotional depth that enhances the suspense. Alexander Mahone, his character arc, provides a rich source of psychological drama. His struggle with addiction and guilt, his quest for redemption, and layers of intrigue to interactions with Michael and other inmates. Mahone's unpredictable nature and his moments of vulnerability make him a compelling character whose fate is closely tied to the season's suspense. Gretchen Morgan. The introduction of Gretchen Morgan as a primary antagonist adds a formidable and ruthless element to the season. Her cold, methodical approach and willingness to use extreme measures create a constant sense of danger. Gretchen's interactions with Michael and Lincoln are marked by a tense cat-and-mouse dynamic, adding to the overall intrigue. The structure of Season 3, with its frequent use of cliffhangers and episodic suspense, is designed to keep viewers hooked. Each episode ends with a cliffhanger that propels the story forward and leaves viewers eagerly anticipating the next episode. Whether it's a new twist in the escape plan, a revelation about the character's motives, or a sudden threat from within Sona, these cliffhangers ensure that the suspense is maintained from episode to episode. The season skillfully interweaves multiple storylines, each with its own set of stakes and suspenseful moments. The parallel plots of Michael's escape plan, Lincoln's efforts to rescue LJ and Sarah, and the internal power struggles within Sona are all tightly connected, creating a rich tapestry of intrigue. The interplay between these storylines keeps the narrative dynamic and engaging. The pacing of Season 3 is strategically designed to balance action with moments of introspection, allowing for a buildup of suspense and intrigue. The season employs a technique of gradual revelations, slowly peeling back layers of the plot and character motivations. This approach keeps viewers engaged as they piece together the larger picture. Key information is revealed at critical junctures, maintaining a steady buildup of suspense. And now we're going to take a look at some of the negatives of this season. Starting off with repetitiveness. Season 3 relies on a familiar formula of prison escape, which feels worn out. While the first season's breakout was fresh and innovative, returning to another prison escape in Season 3, this time from Sona, felt repetitive. The reuse of similar plot devices, alliances with inmates, tyrannical prison leaders, intricate escape plans, diminished suspense and excitement. Character arcs such as Michael's masterminding and T-Bag's manipulations also mirrored previous seasons, leading to stagnation in character development. And then you had inconsistencies. Season 3 suffers from plot holes and inconsistent character motivations, partly due to the writer's strike. Unexplained events and decisions, especially regarding escape logistics and Whistler's importance, disrupt viewer immersion. New characters like Whistler and Sophia have underdeveloped motivations, making their actions seem forced. Sarah Tancredi's abrupt fate also left many fans disappointed, impacting Michael's emotional arc and contributing to narrative inconsistency. And then you have the rushed storylines. Like we mentioned, the writer's strike led to a shortened season with condensed character arcs and abrupt plot resolutions. Mahone's struggle with addiction and the escape plan from Sona lacked depth. Relationships, particularly new ones like Whistler and Sophia's, were underdeveloped and weakened the overall narrative. And this season had a lack of evolution. Key characters show little growth. Michael's brilliance remains, but lacks new dimensions. Lincoln's one-dimensional focus on family and T-Bag's consistent manipulativeness contributed to character stagnation. And of course, this season, like others, is the overuse of cliffhangers. Constant cliffhangers reduce their impact, making the storytelling predictable and potentially causing viewer fatigue. And now we're going to take a look at some of the cinematography and direction of Season 3. The visual style of Prison Break Season 3 emphasizes gritty realism to immerse viewers in the harsh environment of Sona, using dim, natural lighting and a muted color palette. The show creates an oppressive atmosphere that mirrors the prison's darkness and moral ambiguity. Shadows and low lighting enhance this grim setting, giving the series a raw, unpolished look. Handheld cameras add immediacy and chaos, making viewers feel like they are within Sona. The shaking, unstable movements reflect the environment's unpredictability, intensifying action scenes and creating a dynamic viewing experience. The set design meticulously conveys Sona's lawlessness and decay. Dilapidated structures like crumbling walls and rusted bars symbolize the breakdown of order. Crowded and constrained spaces heighten the sense of confinement and tension, with tight corridors and small spaces enhancing claustrophobia and interpersonal conflict. Authentic props and costumes, such as ragged clothing and makeshift weapons, further immerse viewers in the setting. Directors use tight close-ups to convey characters' emotions and internal struggles. Close-ups on Michael's intense concentration, Mahone's haunted expressions, and T-Bag's sinister smirks add psychological depth. Action sequences are choreographed with quick cuts and varied angles, creating urgency and chaos. The pacing balances high tension with quieter, reflective scenes, ensuring viewers remain engaged without fatigue. And then you have symbolism and visual metaphors. Light and shadow play a significant role in symbolizing moral ambiguity and duality. Scenes with Michael in Half-Light reflect his ethical struggles. The use of barred windows and caged spaces serve as a visual metaphor for entrapment, emphasizing themes of imprisonment and the desire for freedom. Mirrors and reflections add depth, exploring characters' introspection and duality, particularly Mahone's quest for redemption. And then you have environmental storytelling, the world of Sona. The environment of Sona is a character in itself. The prison's oppressive heat, inmate noise, and constant surveillance build tension and unpredictability. Sound design is crucial, with background noises creating unease and silence, heightening suspense. Depictions of environmental hazards like unsanitary conditions and scarce necessities add realism and influence characters' decisions, deepening their struggle for survival. So, to wrap up, Season 3 of Prison Break is a polarizing chapter in this series. It takes bold risks by changing the setting and introducing new characters, resulting in a season that is both refreshing and familiar. While it faces challenges in pacing and character consistency, it succeeds in maintaining the suspense and excitement that fans of the series have come to expect. The darker tone and the high stakes add depth to the narrative, and the central theme of survival resonates strongly throughout. Despite its flaws, Season 3 remains an essential part of the Prison Break story, setting the stage for future developments and keeping viewers invested in the fates of its beloved characters. For fans of high-stakes drama and intricate plots, Season 3 offers a thrilling, albeit imperfect, continuation of the Prison Break saga. Whether you love it or have mixed feelings about it, there's no denying its impact on the series as a whole. So let us know in the comments section below, what did you think of Season 3 of Prison Break? Did you think it was a good season, or was it among the lower tier of seasons? And of course, give us a thumbs up if you like our video. Hit that subscribe button, the bell notification button to be notified of future videos. And of course, if you want to support the channel, go ahead and you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. Your support helps the channel grow, upgrade our equipment, bring in new hosts, and hopefully one day take this show on the road. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. I'll see you next time.